Hi everybody, my name is Courtney Smith. I am a commercial real estate agent here at the Welch team at Keller Williams. And today we are going to be discussing what a due diligence period is in a commercial transaction and why it is so important that it is managed properly. A due diligence period is a set amount of time that gives the buyer an opportunity to investigate the property, analyze any financials, have the property inspected, and make sure that they are comfortable moving forward with their purchase. Due diligence periods can last from anywhere between 2 weeks to up to 6 months or more. I would say typically they're 45 to 90 days, assuming there's not any major complications with the property. There are many factors that go into the length of a due diligence period and what needs to be looked at during that time, and we're going to discuss a few here. The first one is obviously the condition of the property. When purchasing a property, you want to have the building inspected. Commercial inspectors can go out, they can look at the building, make sure the roof is okay, the HVAC's okay, all the typical stuff that you look at in an inspection. On some commercial properties, if it has a large parking lot, that'll be looked at, or any additional structures that are on the property can be looked at as well. Another key point during the due diligence period is your finances. Commercial lending can take a little bit longer, typically 45 to 60 days, maybe to get a loan approval, which is a little bit different than residential transactions. Commercial lender will look at the building, they'll look at if it's going to be owner used, and if it is, what that owner is using the building for. If it's for a business, they're going to want to look at the business financials to make sure that they can support the loan. So there's many different factors. A lender may also want an environmental phase 1 done on the property, which is another reason why the due diligence period is a little bit longer. If the lender requires an environmental phase 1, that means that they're going to go out to the property, or they're going to send someone to go out to the property and take ground samples to make sure there is no contamination in the ground. You see this a lot in industrial buildings, car dealerships, or auto body shops, things of that nature. So that is another thing that can take a little while. It can get a little bit expensive, especially if there is contamination in the ground. So that's another reason you want to monitor it well. Another thing to look at during the due diligence period is if the property is a multi-tenant office space or retail space, or possibly a multi-family property, there is going to be a lot of leases in place and a lot of financial data that you're going to need to rake through, you and your financial advisor possibly, and make sure that you are confident and comfortable with the income that the property is generating before you invest in it. So that's just another thing to look at. So there's a lot of things to look at during the due diligence period. It needs to be managed properly. Luckily here at the Welch team, we have a transaction team that once we go under contract, we make sure we give you enough time during the due diligence period. We have our transaction team that makes sure that all the inspections are getting scheduled, all the research is being done, and making sure that we are on track to get all your questions answered during the due diligence period. So if you have any other questions about the due diligence period, or buying or selling commercial properties or residential properties, please reach out to us here at the Welch team at the number below.